So on the way to the message today, I ran across this wonderful quote by John Lennon that I want to share with you. This is John Lennon's thoughts on religion, and it's so in alignment with unity. He wrote, "I'd rather let my spirit fly free than be caged by religion. Become a Buddha, not a Buddhist. Become a Christ, not a Christian. One implies an awakened state of consciousness, the other a dogmatic approach to life. God is too big for one religion." It's spiritual, right? Love and quantum physics are my religion. At one level, all religious traditions have the same aim: to transform the individual into a positive being. I love Jesus, I love Shiva, I love Krishna, I love Buddha. All rivers lead to the same ocean. I believe in God, but not as one thing, not as an old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. He was unity, just didn't know it. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, so that's really what today's message is about us becoming the author of our lives through that divine essence that is our true nature. So this morning I noticed on my calendar that it was Joseph Rich's birthday today. It's also Jeannie Hoffman's birthday today. And anyway, I texted Joseph and said, here's your best birthday ever, whatever. And he wrote back and said, yes, wait a second, I wrote it down. I'm 14.8 billion years old. And that's true of all of us. We are 14.8 billion years old. And like Joseph said, I think I look pretty good. Not bad, right? And I think all of you look pretty good for being of that ripe age. Because that essence of who we are, the author of our life, the Christ, the Buddha, whatever name we give to it, that divine essence that you and I are is ageless. It was in the beginning. In 1 John, when it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word, that's our essence it's talking about. Not the man Jesus, which I used to think it meant, but it's the Christ that Jesus stepped into, his full Christness. And he said, that's our job too. That's our work, to step into the full Christ that we are. I love how A Course of Love calls it being the accomplished Christ that we already are. That's what our job is. That's what our work is to be that which we are. So the human condition that today's message addresses is, this has been the human condition of a number of messages of mine through the years, and that is thinking that we're what? Only human, right? I'm only human. What do you expect of me? Well, that's BS. We are so much more than our humanity. You are so much more than your humanity. I am so much more than my humanity. And so that's the difference between being an actor in our lives and being the author of our lives. Because the actor in our lives is our personality, our ego, which we need, by the way. We're not going to throw it out. We need it to cross the street, to do anything. We have to, on this human plane, we have to live in this body that our true essence. Peg used to say, this is the car I'm driving? Yeah, this body that you see is the car I'm driving. And so we need to really just step beyond thinking that that's all who we are and to realize that we are the divine in expression. We're not the only divine in expression, right? We are each one individually, because we really are one. The divine, the author. And so the spiritual solution is stepping into that, getting rid of this idea that we're only human and really expressing the divine that we are. I know when I think I'm only human, life is hard. Is it hard for you sometimes? You know, when my ego's trying to solve all the problems, I'm trying to figure things out, and whatever. And I'll give you an example. For the past couple of years, I've had a recurring, waxing and waning desire to have another Volkswagen camper. Okay. And I sold the last one because I decided I didn't like camping. Then I started tent camping. And now I'm realizing what luxury that was. Volkswagen camper. So I've been, looking and studying and all that stuff. And a couple of weeks ago, I saw one parked for sale in a parking lot, and went and took a picture of the information and everything. And then I went on a trip to Unity Convention, but it's been on my mind. And so finally, I got to a point where I had to make a decision, because there was another woman that wanted the camper. And she was leaving town on Friday morning, and I went over to sit. I was sitting in the healing service Thursday night, and you know how things just happen. I get this download. Will it fit in the garage? Gosh, because I don't have a lot of extra parking. I can't park on the street in my neighborhood. So I went home after the healing service. I measured the garage. I drove over to the Vargas where it was parked. It clears by 2 inches. So that's somewhat of a sign, And then I called Patricia, who I adopted my lovely new munchkins from, and Patricia's a chiropractor, she does kinesiology. And I caught her, she's at the Oakland airport at like 10 o'clock at night, and I said, I need you to muscle test to see if this is the car. This is the car for me, the vehicle. So she said, send me the stuff and I'll do it after I get to Santa Fe. And I'm like, I gotta know tomorrow morning, So I go over to DeVargas Mall, and this other woman is looking at the camper, and she's just, all in there and everything. And the seller had told me about this woman. And so I introduced myself, and then it turns out she's with a woman that used to date Bob Young, one of our longtime members, named Elizabeth, who works at 10,000 Ways. So I go, wow. So we start talking. Her name's Melissa. She said, why do you have Unity on your license plate of your car? And I said, I'm the minister at Unity Santa Fe. And she says, I go to Unity in Delray Beach, Florida. I said, I went there for a burning. That's the way this whole thing has been. And the seller used to be the president of the board at Centers for Spiritual Living here. So it's just like all these coincidences are happening and everything. But it's like, okay. And so we both said to each other, well, whichever one of us decides, we know it's all perfect, and we're just really loving each other. So the next morning, I got all my information. I realized I haven't heard from Patricia. So I called and wake her up. Turns out she didn't get in until 2 in the morning. I called and wake her up. Patricia, what does it say? Before I did that, I was taking the munchkins out for a walk. And this was right after I got up. And I just said, I don't need a Volkswagen camper. I probably won't use it. It'll just sit there, cost me a lot of money. Melissa should have this, because she's getting ready to take a long road trip, and she will use it. So, and I had already put it on the altar, so I thought that was my guidance, So, I'm not efforting myself about it anymore. I'm walking the dogs, and I get about halfway into my walk, about 20 minutes into my walk, and all of a sudden I get this, I want that camper. I really want that camper. And I started thinking of ways I would use it and all that stuff. So I thought, well, if Melissa hasn't already claimed it, I'm going to claim it. So I get back, I call Patricia. She gets good strong thing that it's good fair price and all that. And I call the owner, and I said, well, is it still available? And she said, well, Melissa really wants it, but she's going to defer to you. And so I got the camper. And I said to the seller, I said, do you realize that, we're both Unity students. Do you realize that if you were selling this to 2 other people who were really on an ego trip or whatever, you could have got $10,000 more for this vehicle? Because there would have been a bidding war. So anyway, but it's like when I can get myself out of the way and just turn it over and ask for the guidance and give it to the love I am, I will be guided in ways that, I couldn't figure out with all the efforting possible. So that's my message because I'm out of time. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I want to say. This is a wonderful chapter in this last chapter of Robert Brumet's book, Living Originally. I encourage you to come tonight to our meditation and dialogue service. But in the book, the idea of both and came up. So I want to ask you to do a process. So I want you to raise your hand and draw a circle clockwise circle above your head. And then just keep drawing it as you lower your hand in front of your face and all the way down to where it's in front of your waist. What direction is your circle? Counterclockwise. Okay? I love that. It's a matter of perspective. When we're up here, then we're looking up in the circle. When we're down here, we're looking down. It changes the perspective. So it is both counterclockwise and counterclockwise. And that's what we are. We're both human and divine. And the perspective from which we are operating as either in our total personality and ego is going to give us one perspective. And when we have a perspective from our divinity, we're going to get an entirely different perspective. It's like doing heart math. For those of you who know how to do heart math, when we go from our neocortex down to our heart, the perspective is so different. So that idea of realizing we have both of these perspectives available to us in every decision we make, everything we do, we have the freedom to choose. And so I celebrate that we have the wisdom to choose, and that we exercise that choice by choosing to be the author of our life rather than just an actor in our lives. And that author is what Pierre Teilhard de Chardin called the omega point. It's our omega self. So when we can come from that omega self, that Christ self, that Buddha nature, whatever name we give it, the perspective will be so wonderful. And it's a difference between, one of the things Robert Brumet says in the book is that the way you know whether or not which self you're in is if you're suffering or in hatred or resentment or feeling like a victim. Which one do you think you're in? Yeah, you're in the ego. I'm in the ego when I do that. And so, but yet when we're feeling empowered and when we're feeling free and unlimited, then we are coming from that Christ self. So I celebrate that we each go forward this week, putting feet on this message, always through prayer and meditation, so that we get the guidance that we need, that place where, one of my practices is I just imagine I'm putting whatever situation is on the altar of love. And that's what I did with my wallet that I mentioned earlier. Not this message for the video, but earlier today, that I just put it on the altar. I gave it to love. And then to step back empty-handed, knowing that love is doing the work. And when we do that, we are just blessed beyond measure. We are empowered. We are free. We are unlimited. And let's begin feeling that in a sacred time of shared prayer. So I invite you to be fully present, practicing the first two core foundations of this mindfulness practice in living originally. To become fully self-aware. Aware of the body, all the sensations that are in the body. To become aware of the mind, any thoughts, whatever. Just acknowledging them, accepting them, and giving them free passage. And that self-awareness is the second practice. Being aware, not self-acceptance, but that, self-acceptance, accepting whatever we're feeling physically, accepting whatever we're feeling emotionally, mentally, accepting what is. Knowing that suffering happens when we don't accept what is. And so we say yes to what is. And then I invite you to just imagine going beyond being an actor in your life to being the author, the screenwriter, the producer, the director, the star of your life. By going through life, experiencing life from the perspective of your Omega self, your Christ self, your divine nature. And I invite you to just sit in that imagining, in the silence. And so as we gently bring our attention back to this time and place, silently say, thank you, divine nature that I am, for the wisdom to go through life from your perspective, knowing that in so doing, I live my life centered in peace, wisdom, love, with effortless ease, grace, and joy. Thank you, Christ that I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That it is so, and so it is, and so I am.